Go.
Bam! Welcome back to What's the Odds with Steve, Ren, and Zizi. We are all together again. It is May 13th, I believe.
Yes.
And I am back. I'm back. Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome back.
Nice to be back with friends. And I want to say thank you to everyone right off the bat. I don't know if everyone knows why I was gone, but my dad in New York fell ill, and he's been battling leukemia for the past year. And you know, he has been in and out of getting treatments. And so last week he fell real ill, and he passed last Friday, the 1st. And so I've been in New York with my family. Everyone's been out here. We were lucky to have a great funeral and a really nice send-off. But I put a post out there, so I wanted to say thank you to everyone that wrote to me, because they all really were very, 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 it was just the words and the emotions and it made everything a little easier. My mom is doing great. My brother and sister are doing great. We're all kind of here huddling together, and we're going to be here for a while. But thank you to you guys for covering for me last week, and you know, everyone that wrote really lovely things. I appreciate it. And also thank you to everyone at Stony Brook University Hospital that took care of my dad so beautifully, especially with all the craziness going on. Everyone over there, all the nurses, all the doctors that just treated him so beautifully and really let us be with him to the very end, which was a blessing. And not a lot of people get to do that. So thank you to everyone over there. So I've been out of things for the last 2 weeks, really. I don't know what's going on. And apparently Booger McFarland's been fired. And
just told him right before he started, and he almost cried.
Truly, again, it's been a real emotional past couple weeks. I've got a lot of advice on how to cry, how to break down. I've been crying in random spots, stop signs, lines at stores. I went to a store and broke down crying. So, and I feel almost as emotional right now, knowing that Booger McFarland's not going to be. What did he get fired for? How did he get fired? What did he do?
They just let both the guys go. I don't know. I guess I don't know what the reason was. Do you know, Lucas? They just didn't like him?
Yeah, they're replacing them with, I believe I heard Dan Orlovsky, Steve Levy, and Louis Reddick.
Wow.
Are likely to be the three. But they're also, I think, trying to get, a prominent NFL player.
They tried to get Peyton Manning, and he said no.
Yeah, same with Romo.
Mm-hmm.
And look, Orlovsky's great, but he's not a brand name. He does a good job breaking down film, and I think he knows what he's talking about. But, you know, he's not like a Tony Romo or, a household name. I mean, it's like –
I think you need a guy like Booger.
You're going to need someone really special this year, because you're going to have no fans in the stands.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a whole different beast doing this calling when there's no one around, or, there's not a lot. Like, you are building the moment. I mean, we all know the moment's happening, but normally the fans and you feel it, almost the tension at home. These guys are going to have to do it. I mean, I'm not saying Booger McFarland was the guy, but, Dan Orlovsky, I don't know. Does that mean Booger's gone from ESPN now? Is he done? Or
I don't believe so. That's not how I read it.
No, I just think he's being shifted to just an analyst on the network, but he's not going to do Monday Night Football games anymore. So he's still going to be working for the network. So hopefully we'll still get the sound bites and the memes and all the fun stuff that goes along with Booger. So I just think you're getting rid of a great personality.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And I'm glad they got him into the booth now and out of that little side chair, even though that was fun to watch him slide up.
It wasn't a little side chair. He's like the Doc Ock of football analysts taking up half the stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think his agent at some point was like, "Can I go back to the chair? Can I leave? All right, fine.
For sure.
I'll leave the booth, but I'll go. Can I go at least have my chair back?" And then they were like, "No." The whole
thing. Sure. I think if he's a good agent, he would have, or she, because
damn.
I remember when he had the chair, the big thing was he was obstructing fans' views. But like you said, there's no fans.
It's gonna be weird to hear NFL. I've been watching Korean baseball, I don't know if you guys have been doing it. I watch a little bit of these Korean baseball games, and they pipe in a little bit of like normal sound, like they have like the ba ba da 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 da. So but like no one's doing. Obviously, there's no one there to do anything about it. So and the announcers are doing it from their homes, so that's also weird. They're kind of talking over each other. There's no.
Shut that wolf up.
She was so quiet last week.
It's all right.
Look at how composed Steve is.
Yeah,
I'm very calm.
This is a different Steve.
What I'm not gonna tell Booger how to live his life, but I think he needs to Guns N' Roses take that chair on tour.
Yeah.
To start showing up at games and calling whatever game he wants to call.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I would have left. I would have left, the network. You take that, like, how do you, for what reason? I don't get it. They love Dan Orlovsky. They can't put him on enough shows. They can't feed him the ball enough.
Well, if you look at the Monday Night Football schedule the NFL gave ESPN, it's really good. And I've read that part of the reason the Monday night lineup is, so much better this year compared to years past is the NFL really appreciated how ESPN did the draft, and how well it was put together. And I just think that ESPN wants a lineup comparable to CBS and NBC, Fox.
Yeah, I don't really know. The Monday night games were always seemed to be the coolest game of the week.
This year, you see the Giants open on Monday night.
I know, but how good are the Giants going to be? There's got to be a more interesting game than the Giants. Who are they opening?
They're playing Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah. It's like, who's excited about that game?
I am. That's a legacy game. Two of the biggest franchises in NFL history. Yeah,
but not really with I don't know. I just, it's like there's got to be, if I looked at the schedule, if I had it in front of me, there's got to be a better game. Well, if you told me it was Giants Cowboys, I would be like even better. But Pittsburgh, it's not even a division right. No, it's not even Philly. Philly Giants, two shit teams. We didn't make the, we're not going to make the playoffs this year probably.
Well, I'm trying to plan Biddlecombe's bachelor party right now, and the Bills playing Vegas in week 4, and the tickets are insane. They are crazy.
Before the wedding.
Yeah.
Now remember this though: if you buy these tickets, right? And the games don't happen, like you can't go, you don't get your money back till the fucking day of the game. Like I bought tickets for an Angels-Yankees game on May 29th or May 30th or whatever it is in January, and I don't get that money back till May fucking 29th. So all you're doing is giving the NFL more money to keep inside their fucking bank account to make interest on rather than your bank account to make it. So I'm not saying don't buy the tickets, and it may be better to buy them now because there may be only 10,000 sold. But I'm just saying if these things don't happen and they're not having games with people, you're not getting your money back till after that game's over.
Sidebar, Ticketmaster and Live Nation just bought $850 million or they sold off their stock or allowed someone to buy their debt. I don't understand how all that works, but bottom line, they are suffering. So if everyone would just stop buying concert tickets, we could finally get rid of Ticketmaster.
Ooh.
They're going to go under.
They really are suffering because there's nothing to my agent was telling me there's some sort of concert going on in Nashville. There's this guy who's trying to do the Ryman in October, and they're watching the sales like it's almost what's going to happen. Are people going to buy tickets early? Are they it's like a presidential election? Like what is the path to recovery? But again, I would love if Live Nation, if Ticketmaster fucking went goodbye. With the fees they charge and stuff, but I don't know how you're getting rid of it.
They're refusing to refund people for shows that got canceled because of Corona. They won't give people their money back.
Aren't they the greatest?
Oh, they suck.
They really are. I remember Ari doing one of those storyteller shows, and he invites 4 or 5 big name comics and splits the pot amongst. He goes here, and they were all like, "Oh, thanks so much, Ari. This is great." He goes, "You know who made more money than us tonight? Ticketmaster made more money than all of us."
Yeah.
So
as a fan and someone who goes to a lot of live concerts, It's such a nightmare, one, dealing with them, and two, knowing that they also own like all the scalper companies, and they just sell half the tickets to them right off the bat and then jack up the price.
Pieces of
So
shit.
$55 concerts actually $300 every time.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, if by the time they go, a lot of places that we love will have to go too.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these places rely on them for their ticket. You know, they've been bullied into that's the only place they know that sells tickets, and they can't do it
There's
themselves.
a lot of little companies. I've worked with a lot of them working at the Comedy Store for years. There's a lot of little companies that are coming up all over that are much better.
Well, I hope
we could shift away from the giant. It's like cutting the cord, basically, cutting cable. There's better little options, and hopefully they can stay afloat and we get rid of this shit.
I love it.
I have a few stats for you, Steve. See what you think.
Go ahead.
And we can make bets on these. So the Cowboys face the Bird Gauntlet this year, meaning they play the Falcons, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Eagles, and the Ravens. And no one's ever defeated all 5 of those teams in one season. Is it going to happen?
No, not a chance. No.
0% chance.
0% that they run. I mean, I'm not even asking if those games are home. No, they're not. They're not beating the Ravens.
No. Well, here's another interesting thing. So Sportsline ran 10,000 simulations of the season. And Kansas City, even though they had the best record in like 72% of the simulations, the Ravens won the AFC 38% of the time to their 34, and they won the Super Bowl 23% to their 21. So do you think the Ravens beat the Chiefs this year and make it to the Super Bowl?
I don't fucking know. I don't know shit. I don't know who's healthy and who's going to be in the who's going to be hurt. What if Lamar Jackson
gets hurt? We're speculating.
I know. So, okay, if everybody's healthy, 100% across the board, best team versus best team, I still think Kansas City beats them. Look, Baltimore's defense even got better. They got
Patrick Queen,
and LSU. The Jacksonville guy, Calais Campbell.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
you know, but I don't Patrick Mahomes and what he can do in that offense. You know, I don't see them beating him. But depends on if it's cold and it's snowing in Baltimore and all that shit. If it's fucking bad weather, you might take a Baltimore team that could run the ball. But, if it's in Kansas City and it's nice or it's, decent weather, it's like, I don't know. I just feel like right now I can't take the Super Bowl away from Super Bowl champions. There's no one better than them.
That's fair.
Related question, Steve. The Giants also have the Bird Gauntlet this year. Do you think they go 6?
I think they might lose every one of them.
All 6?
All 6. They probably lose to the Eagles, right? They will lose to the Seahawks, probably, more than likely. The Falcons they could maybe beat. Maybe they take the Falcons, but maybe not.
I agree with that.
Who am I missing here?
The Cardinals.
The Cardinals? Probably not. Not this year. What defensive back of ours is gonna take Hopkins?
You're gonna have to put all 4 of them on him.
I mean, look, this linebacker that we got. Hopefully, he's the real deal. He's a great athlete, and he could maybe mark fucking Kyler Murray. But there's a lot of weapons there. And then what's the other Bird team am I missing?
The Seahawks, Falcons, Ravens.
Oh, Ravens! No way. The Giants will get no. The Giants will lose by double digits to the Ravens.
I'll say something bold. I think if Dak doesn't end up signing with the Cowboys and that gets delayed and Dalton becomes quarterback, I think the Cowboys have a winning record and they have a shot at running the gauntlet on the Birds.
You think they're better off with Dalton?
I think they're better off with Dalton. I think Dak is a good quarterback physically. I think because he was top 5 in like all the quarterback stats for passes over 10 yards last season. Every single stat he's in the top 5, but I don't think he has that it factor. He's like a Kirk Cousins where he just can't get over the hill. And I think Dalton's been in a shitty system for so long, and now he's going to come into an offense that actually has weapons and a coach that knows what he's doing, and we're going to see exactly what kind of quarterback he could have been.
He's pretty old, though, and he's not as mobile. I mean, he's going to be a drop back and sit in the pocket, maybe throw a ball down the field.
And that's fine. He's got a great offensive line.
I mean, I don't see them having any problems going into camp as far as a quarterback controversy at all, or even through camp. But I mean, do you think that they lose so much that Dak gets benched and he comes in? Andy Dalton?
Maybe. If they had Andy Dalton last year, Dak would have been benched.
Wow. Really?
Sure. Yeah, they were barely 500 last year. They only got in because everyone else in the division sucked.
I'm also curious, though, who is going to give Dak money if Dallas doesn't?
I think he's going to be the next Kirk Cousins, where he's just going to get franchised 2 or 3 years in a row, make extraordinary money for 2 or 3 years, and then maybe sign with another team. Because, that.
But it almost seems there's too many good quarterbacks. I mean, Cam Newton doesn't have a job right now.
Doesn't have a job. Franchise leader in touchdowns and passing yards and all that for Carolina, and he doesn't have a job.
Yeah. There's almost too many good quarterbacks.
Is there a team out there? There will be a team that will need him, but I don't know. Maybe his price demands right now are just too high. Or
his price demands are too high, so maybe what'll happen is he doesn't end up signing. We get into week 1, week 2, week 3. The season still hasn't signed, but somebody else gets hurt somewhere, and the Cowboys make a move.
Look, if the Cowboys dismantled into pieces and fell on the floor, I'd be very happy about that. But I don't see that happening. I think they're going to be a better team than the Giants this year. I don't see Andy Dalton coming in. I think he's a different kind of quarterback, but he's a good backup for them. Yeah. That offensive line, it's how can they protect Dak Prescott and can they help Ezekiel Elliott run the ball? They're good. Yeah. They've always been a strong point. And can the defense hold up? Probably. In front of no fans with Jerry Jones breathing down their neck. And Mike McCarthy just sweating his little fucking fat fingers. Come on!
Now,
wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if the Giants just fucking lit them up and Brad Garrett just ran, just Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, all our weapons. Jason Garrett just ran him up and down the whole fucking field.
Be great.
Ran him back and forth. It would be the great, but 0% that happened. 0%. I think they'll be battling for last place again, the two of them.
Yeah.
Probably. I like the Giants draft.
Oh, me too. But I think, it's like it's going to be a little while. You got linebackers who it's not like they drafted, they need guys that come in. They're going to be players this year, but like 2 or 3 years, we have a better situation, I think, defensively. It's not going to be playmakers the first year. We didn't get like a J.J. Watt. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully the offensive lineman's not a bust. Fingers fucking crossed. I've been trying to be cautiously optimistic. I've read some great reviews and all this shit, but we'll see.
Now,
who knows with these guys? Who knows what happens between now and training camp? Is there training camp? The Giants are looking for other options as to where to have training camp because New York's not going to open up. They're not going to.
Who knows what these guys are doing with a different kind of off season if they're taking care of themselves?
Yeah, you're looking at guys. I mean, that's the other thing with Cam Newton. Get back to him. If you're going to give that guy $10 million or $8 million, even to be your backup quarterback, if you can't let your doctors look at him, a guy who's played 10 out of like 20 games, the last 2 seasons, and half of them he missed with a shoulder and a foot. So it's like, well, if you can't throw the ball and you can't run the ball, well, I don't want to give this guy $8 million for the shit that he's done in Carolina.
I think he sits this year out, and I bet he comes back or tries to come back a year from now. And then Jadeveon Clowney, I bet he signs a 1-year deal with probably Seattle. All these guys.
Someplace that knows him. Yeah. They'll go, we're going to give you more money than anybody else because our doctors have looked at you. But the longer – for Cam Newton, the longer he waits, I think the better it is for him because his body will heal more. He'll have an opportunity to get in front of their doctors and actually, put an on-field performance out in front of people. And eventually, somewhere along the line, someone's going to need a fucking quarterback in the NFL, and your backup is not going to be as good as Cam Newton. So I think, it's not a rush for him to get a job right now. It's not imperative.
Now, last week, Brendan and I made a $50 bet.
Okay. Oh, I love it.
Yes. So the comeback player of the year, the odds for next year two guys were tied: Ben Roethlisberger and Rob Gronkowski.
Okay, well,
who would you take of those two? Third at 6-1 was J.J. Watt, but Roethlisberger and Gronk are both 4-1.
Okay, I'm thinking about that. Gronk is going to have a good year, okay? And I think with everything going on down there, with all the offensive weapons they have, I think they're all going to do well. But I think it's going to be more of like the Warriors, where it's like it's not just about one guy. It's going to be about, Tom Brady's the guy, and everyone else is the other guys. I think Ben Roethlisberger. If I have, again, no idea if he's committed himself during the offseason to get healthy and try, but a healthy Ben Roethlisberger could make much more of an impact, I think, in Pittsburgh, on the team, therefore in the NFL, more of a splash than I think Ben Roethlisberger could have, 35 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and 48 to 5,000 yards, which to me would be fucking, absolutely comeback player of the year, and based on his health and his age. Whereas
you start week 1 with the Giants.
Yeah, probably going to light them up.
Padding those stats.
Yeah, probably, and getting him into the running for MVP by week 4. But I think Rob Gronkowski's going to come back. He's coming back from having a year off physically and being out of the game. Not sort of mentally, it's like, I don't think he was really ever thought of as a genius. I think the quarterback position is a much harder position to play than the tight end position. So I think his body's had time to heal. He'll come back. All he has to do is run down, catch the ball. He'll barely have to block that much. And he'll get, 8 to 10 touchdowns. But I think a healthy Ben Roethlisberger put in the right position could really make an impact and stand out. So I would say Roethlisberger from that.
Okay, that's who Biddlecombe went with.
Okay.
And also Gronkowski's been wrestling, so his body has taken some damage, I think.
Yeah, but he also lost 15 pounds, so he's got to put the weight back on, and he's got to get back into football shape. Here's a fun one. Who are the top 3 selling jerseys right now, according to NFLshop.com?
All right, top 3 selling NFL jerseys.
You're not going to get number 1, Steve.
You're not going to get number 2 either.
Okay. All right. I don't want any hints yet. I'm going to give logical choices first. I'm going to say the new Tom Brady TD12 in Tampa Bay jersey. And I'm going to say Christian McCaffrey in North Carolina. Am I wrong?
You're right on Brady, but not in the position.
He's number 2?
No.
He's number 1.
He's number 3.
3. Who's number 2 and 1?
Number 2 is Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh my God!
The white jersey. And number
Fucking
1,
Miami.
Number 1 is Tua, the regular green jersey.
Let me tell you something. If Florida doesn't snap off and float out to the fucking sea this year, it's going to be a disaster. Okay? That's the only thing that can turn 2020 around. Kobe Bryant, all this bullshit coronavirus, but the good news is we don't have the fucking albatross of Florida around our neck anymore. Okay? I mean, why would you first of all, the white doesn't surprise me, right? The fucking Miami Heat, when they used to wear the white jerseys down there, everybody thinks they look great in fucking white down in Florida. You look like the fucking good humor man. And number 2, the fact that they're so on board. Nobody ever gave Josh Rosen or anyone else they've ever had down there at the time of day, but this 6-foot guy that no one has seen, their doctors haven't even seen, hasn't played a game for them, number 1 and number 2. And they're not even reversible. If it was reversible, I would say, you know what, that makes sense. Just fucking flip it. But 1 and 2, how much
1 and 2.
They're all using their stimulus money cash to get their fucking Tua title. I mean, that's how starved they are. God, that is terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. Terrible. And you know what? He's not seeing a dollar from it. He did sign. He's the first rookie, I think, to sign his contract, though, right?
Is he?
Yeah, he signed the $16 million or $19 million guaranteed, 4 years, $56 million, I think it was.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, if you're saying, like, at least he signed, he's going to be here for a while, I'm going to get the fucking jersey. But he could be you could have spent, and how much are those jerseys? Probably $100
Yep.
Yeah.
for a Johnny Manziel jersey. If Johnny Manziel signed with Miami, he'd be number one right now. He'd have the reversible jersey.
Yeah, those were a hot ticket in Cleveland, I remember, when he
Oh,
came in.
everyone. The celebrities had Johnny Manziel jerseys.
Yeah.
And now they're letting them – you're using them to make face masks. Yeah, Tom Brady's probably like, what do I have to do? I moved teams for the first time ever. I have a new jersey for the first time, and they're buying Tua Tagovailoa, whatever the fucking guy's name is. Pisses me off. Now I'm back.
I still don't think he's good.
Tua?
I'm gonna ride that rocket to the moon. I don't think he's good.
Look,
I think he's got a noodle arm. I think he is vulnerable. So he's a mobile quarterback, but he's going to get hit once by a guy who's twice his size, some linebacker that's twice his size, and he's just done.
Yeah.
He's done mentally, done physically.
And look, he's probably in great shape, and I hope he's 100% healthy. But they just gave a lot of money to someone they really now are just looking over for the first time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It's a dark one.
Did you guys see? Do you have any more questions about bets or anything like that? Were there any other?
No.
We're trying to think of a bet because I need to get a haircut, and it sounds like we're going to be shut down for 3 more months. So
I know.
I was trying to find a bet that you guys can think of that I would lose pretty easily, and Cassie's going to cut my hair on the show while we're recording.
Oof.
And she has no experience cutting hair.
Can we put blindfolds on her?
We could do that, yeah.
All right, that's good. So you just want us to find somebody that you're going to lose at?
There's nothing to find, though. There's nothing out there right now.
Are you still betting on your what was it? What were you doing the fantasy on? Who was it?
No.
What bets do we still have to pay off?
I
shifted pay off an old bet by doing it.
True.
I mean,
Why
we
don't you
can't
just
do
do
some
it?
of the old payoffs we were going to do.
I guess I could just do it.
Because we're not.
I'll have her do
gonna
it
see
next
each other.
week. But what was I going to say? No, I shifted away from all the DraftKings stuff, and last week all we talked about was the stock market. I've just been the last few weeks just reading up on the stock market. I'm investing. I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm up on everything. I got the symbols. I got the companies.
I got the symbol. Yeah, they tell.
Yeah.
Symbols.
I know what's going on, Steve. I'm a day trader.
Oh boy.
He turns that camera around. There's like 12 screens on the wall.
Did you start your own account? Did you start your own day?
I've got a couple of them. Yeah.
A couple.
Yeah.
All right. And now all right. So you just go in for each one, do you have a different plan, or you're just using money to just try different companies?
No, I have a financial advisor, and he got me into some of the blue chips that are, pretty stable that I bought in. But then I did some research on the small cap companies and looked up, how they were founded, who they're being run by, how they're being run, and what they do. And then just kind of guess, like, is this going to be a thing that people are going to need 5 years from now, especially since COVID's going on? And I've thrown some money down, and a few of the companies have actually done pretty well. We are in a downturn. It's probably going to get worse. So I have lost some money, but a few of the companies actually look pretty promising. And I invested in DraftKings. They went public like 3 weeks ago, and I bought like 50 shares, and I've made like $500.
Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that. Now, let me tell you something very smart, Brenton. About 10 years ago, I invested in a couple companies myself, one of them being Netflix.
Nice.
So it really pays off to kind of do stuff like that. And now some of them didn't pay off, but Netflix absolutely did. And I'm glad you're doing it. But the fact that you're moving it around every day, are you tinkering? Are you tinkering?
Oh, no. I was joking. I'm not a day trader. I was joking, but I think it'd be fun. Like, what we could do is we could all take $5 and then see who can come up with the most money after a week of day trading.
I mean, $5. $5 is, I'm trying to think of, all right. That's all right.
There's some stocks that
I don't want to do penny stocks though. Yeah. Like, I don't want to do penny stocks. I want to do like who made the most headway in the market. I guess money's the ultimate way to decide, but I don't want to start
percentages though.
Percentages. Yeah. Like if I put all my money, That's not a bad idea. We could do that. Absolutely. I did that that's how I learned the stock market in the 8th grade. We got split up into groups, and then we each were given 10 fake dollars, and we had to do stocks and then add and see how much money we made at the end of the week. And we did all right. But Brenton, the fact that you're using this coronavirus quarantine to make a financial nest egg for your family, very good. I'm very impressed with it. I mean, I'm learning magic. You're learning the ins and outs of Wall Street.
Also magic.
And also, yeah.
Lucas had a great idea too. So if we were all to buy one share of Berkshire Hathaway?
Yeah.
We can go to the
then
retreat.
Then we can go to their retreat and we could podcast there.
Yeah. Listen to the Oracle himself.
One share.
Where's the retreat?
I think Nebraska. Let's see.
Oh yeah. That's the one he has every year for all his investors where he
he rents out an arena.
An arena, yeah, which by the way is never happening again. Never again.
Yeah, I mean, we can all buy this stock, but we'll probably be going to a Zoom event.
Yeah.
We'll be
logging
in.
It won't be this year, but it'll be next year.
Yeah.
How much is Berkshire Hathaway trading for right now?
Let's check.
There's 2 different accounts. One's going for about 2,400, and the other's 273,000.
Oh shit!
Wow.
All right.
Look at it right now.
So it just depends on where you guys want to sit in the arena.
Yeah, I think, by the way, as poorly as I did on the spelling bee is as good as I will do in the stock market thing, because I know the stock market. I know how to make money in the stock market. Mm-hmm. I really should have been some sort of fucking day trader that tries to rob people in another life. That really was what I was destined to be. So
never too late.
I know. I'm already looking at car washes on Long Island here to buy. My brother and I decided that comedy and church is going to be the last 2 things to come back. So we want to buy a car wash and name it Holy Water Car Wash. He'll do the commercials, right? We do you need Ash Wednesday, a wash and an ash, the whole thing, one-stop shopping.
I love it.
I'm loving this idea. Because he's like, we're in the same business. He goes, I'm never going to be able to have church again. And who's going to come to a comedy club ever again?
They're doing shows this weekend. There's a few clubs. I've seen a couple of comics post.
Where? In California?
Not in California. Brad Williams was playing somewhere. Let me pull up his Twitter. He's playing somewhere in
the red states.
One of the red states for sure. Yeah. He's where the hell is it? The guy tweets too much.
Okay, he's going there to perform in front of live people.
He's traveling to perform in front of live people, and they're going to have, I saw the layout of the room. They're taking out almost all the tables and chairs. There's maybe 20 tables with 4 chairs at each table. And
yeah, some clubs are opening up at quarter capacity or whatever.
It's going to look like that.
Yeah.
All spaced out, but Oklahoma, he's going to be in Oklahoma City this weekend.
Damn.
Wow.
So it is starting back up, but I mean, it's not going to be what we're used to for probably a year and a half.
Yep. Oh yeah. And then the traveling, the back and forth and all that stuff. I mean, you guys haven't been on a plane, but they're not now always blocking out those middle seats.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are flights now that are fucking completely full.
Yeah.
And you have to wear a mask the whole time?
The whole time. The whole fucking time. So
see, that's my thing. I want to go. I was thinking about going to the East Coast to see my family, but I don't want to sit on a plane with a mask on for 6.5 hours or whatever. That sounds miserable.
It really fucking sucks. And it's through the airport, through everything. And
I might take a Greyhound to Iowa.
I mean,
Corona for sure.
Yeah.
They 100%. They inject you before you get on the bus.
Yeah, they're not blocking out seats on a Greyhound. They're not. You're sitting fucking nuts to butts.
Doubling up. Sounds like a good time, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, LA's shut down. Are you guys nervous? Is it shut down till July 31st, right?
Yeah.
But it's not really much different than what it is right now.
No, it's the same shit.
No.
And that's depending on conditions, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
People are just going to get louder. Nothing's really going to change. People are just going to protest more. Tripoli's going to podcast 5 days a week. That's all that's going to happen.
Oh my God, dude. How is the All Things Comedy Studio? Has anyone been by it?
They're working.
Yeah.
Technically,
Yeah.
ATC was considered essential, so the office has technically been open.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Has anyone been inside the Comedy Store? I know I saw you there the other day, Lucas. Did you go inside?
I know. No one's been inside as far as I know. I went running with Curtis, and he forgot his keys. So we got there, got back, but he said, yeah, it's just no cleaning crews. AC's not on.
Sounds like a normal
yeah.
week.
Regular show.
AC's broken and the club's dirty.
Fuck. What else is new?
Business as usual.
Are you guys excited about the possibility that there's going to be Major League Baseball for 82 games this year?
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
I think it's going to get done, guys. I really do. I know it's going to be a battle between the players' union and the owners for money at the end of the day, but I'm pretty sure they'll get it done. 82 games sounds fair. 14 teams into the playoffs instead of 10. You know, it's all right. They're going to do mostly regional, so you'll have like an East, a Central, and a West. You'll play the teams in your area. I think the interleague games will be done like wherever you can drive a bus to, and that's it. So,
do you like the universal DH?
I love the universal DH. Having 50 guys on the roster too. That way, it's like you don't have to have people calling up and where the hell have you been playing or who have you been with. You can kind of just get a group of people together, and it's going to be a weird situation, but at least they can get some revenue back into it, get people back at least watching shit again. I mean, I would love to fucking watch a baseball game. How great would it be on July 4th to sit there and be able to watch a fucking baseball game?
Yeah, but we're not going to get the hot dog eating contest.
Well,
that kills me.
I know. The hot dog eating contest, it's all. I mean,
maybe they could Zoom it.
How do you? Yeah, I'm like, you have to trust that they're not like someone throwing hot dogs off to the side. There's a lot of logistics. Yeah. I'm happy that at least that they'll be able to play in their home stadiums too. I don't think they'll have fans at any of the games. I don't know if they're talking about like as the season goes on, maybe they loosen the restrictions and they can have fans for the playoffs. But baseball is a great fucking sport to listen to, even on the radio and stuff. So I think that won't really matter as far as, it'll be more, it's obviously more fun to have fans, but I think it's nice to listen to the announcers and just hear the natural sounds of the game. I don't know. What am I, gay? Who knows?
Well, do you think if it is a big success and people like the 82 games, do you think it's eventually a thing where the MLB will reduce the number in the future?
No, everyone wants that money. They want that money. I think the players would like to play less games, obviously. And it's too long to begin with. 162 games is way too fucking long.
Yeah.
I think everyone's realizing that we've had overindulgence in everything, So, yeah, baseball season could be pared down to 140, 130 games. No problem. The basketball season's too long. All these sports have football is probably the only one, but they want to get bigger. So I think this is just a necessity for this year. I don't think you're going to see like a change. I don't know what the deal is with them trying to get a 50-50 revenue split. I think that instills some sort of salary cap is what the players don't want to happen, but I don't understand the financials of it. I just hope they fucking play. I know they're not going to play the Yankee that game we were going to go to.
The Field of Dreams.
That one got canceled too.
Yeah,
sucks. But yeah, just some baseballs would be a nice sense of normalcy. Did you watch any of the UFC fights this past weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched them. It's kind of it's normal to listen to Rogan and stuff, but it's like to actually hear the shots landing and stuff. And the fighters were saying that it made a difference to them because they could hear like Rogan and the announcers' actual commentary, and they made adjustments based on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like Greg Hardy was saying, I heard Daniel Cormier saying he's leaning his left hand down, and he goes, I just lifted my left hand up.
That is crazy.
Interesting.
And so without the obviously the fans yelling stuff, you can hear the instructions being yelled from the sidelines, much more clearly. So I don't know if that. I mean, look, it's probably going to be a problem for the Astros trying to cheat without having all their fucking background noise. But I think it could be interesting to see. Like, I don't think golf really affects much without having fans there, but some of these sports are, UFC in particular is like, it plays a role.
I was looking. Yeah.
No, I'm saying they're doing fights tonight too, by the way, and Saturday. Like they got they're rolling shit out.
Damn.
Yeah, they're doing fights tonight for free and Saturday fights for free too.
I really like the idea of Fight Island. I hate that they had to go to Florida. Fight Island sounds so much cooler than Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, so much better. Fight Island's great, and you can get international people there.
Yeah.
They're flying to Fight Island. And who knows what happens after fight. Like, it's like maybe they fight for fun in the streets and stuff with Fight Island. It's like it's lawless out there. It's Dana White land. I don't know. What else do they have? I didn't know, but the Booger McFarland thing, really, this seemed to come out of the blue.
Yeah, I didn't mean to floor you.
Did he release a statement at all or nothing?
I mean, he did, but it was probably...
It's just so weird right now to fire your whole Monday Night Football crew. Like, I wonder if it's a ratings thing or whatever. I mean, maybe they're like, look, we need better games and we need better announcers. But I don't know how you get better than Booger.
No. And I'm looking at the week 1 over-unders for each game. I would say I would take the over on every single one of these games. Like the biggest, it looks like Houston at KC is 56.5. But I'm thinking if there's no fans in the stands.
Like, how is Houston and KC not a bigger game than the fucking Giants and Pittsburgh?
Because Houston gutted their team and they're going to be god-awful.
But still, it's like, but you know what it is? It's like you don't have New York.
Stars.
You don't have the New York market right away.
Yeah.
That's what they're, the New York market is what they're looking for.
They're pushing Daniel Jones.
Starved. Yeah. And so they're going to, but it's not the best game, I don't think.
It's the first game of the season, though.
Ugh.
And that's the highest over-under by about 7 points. Most others, Bills-Jets is only 40. I got to think that's going to be way more than 40 points. If I'm a gambler.
I disagree. I would take the under.
Even if it's an empty stadium, though?
Yeah. Those are
Where is it?
far better defenses than offenses.
It's in Buffalo, but, that's not going to be played. It's funny, like you look at the Chargers schedule, the Chargers and Raiders, I don't know if the NFL planned this, but every week that the Raiders aren't at home, the Chargers are. So the Chargers could likely use their stadium. And the same they're saying with the 49ers and the Rams, where are they going to play if California doesn't have sports? So a lot of talk I've heard about using, University of Phoenix's stadium where the Cardinals play.
Arizona opened up today officially their governor to sports, but I mean, I don't know how as an NFL owner you pay for a $5 billion stadium and you don't use it. Like, I know that it's mandated, but a lot of these guys are putting pressure on, like, you got Elon Musk saying I'm moving my company to fucking Texas. I'm sure Kroenke's been calling fucking Newsom and being like, you gotta do something, dude. I gotta get maybe not people in there, but at least let the play. Like I don't have to pay rent somewhere else, or it's like I'm getting killed here. I got a $5 billion building that no one's allowed to go inside of, like a spaceship that he built. And I mean, at least let my fucking team play in it to like show it off on the, like they'll show it off for the fans. Like here's what you're missing out on, and we can't wait to get you back. But it's like, how do you do that? It's like almost every game's a road game. It sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, already the Pac-12 has said, like, I know California schools are like, we're virtual in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So, you may not even have UCLA, USC, Cal, even playing football or being part of the Pac-12.
But that's where the money comes in. They have to play those games. So many college sports depend on football specifically to finance their own operations. I can't imagine college football teams wouldn't play.
And the problem is that you said professionally, where you have is other states being like, come on over here, and they're going to go. And so, it's going to be a huge revenue blast. I know, look, again, I'm not in LA right now. I don't know what the numbers are. It could be bad. I heard the homeless are getting it like left and right. But from the time that I was there, it seems we can manage it to a certain extent. So I don't know. Who knows? I'm not the fucking governor. What else? Anything else? You guys have anything? What's new with you guys?
I'm watching Devs.
What?
It's a Nick Offerman show on FX. It's pretty intense.
Really?
He's like a Silicon Valley tech guy, and he invents this supercomputer, and then a bunch of fucked up shit that I don't fully understand starts happening.
Really? Comedy or an hour?
No, it's an hour drama, and it's like it's pretty serious, and there's like murder and mystery, and it's intense. I recommend it.
The only 2 hours that I've really just been watching television and getting my mind off of everything is on Sunday nights for The Last Dance. I mean, I think we may have at some point or did we talk about, is it the best sports documentary? Or I think I think now for sure we know that it probably is.
Do you think it is?
I think it might be, because look, we're getting candid Jordan, and everyone's always wanted to see candid Jordan. I'm loving it so much. I even buy that they didn't kill his dad. I even buy it now. I really do. I believe that they did. And
you always thought it was a conspiracy or gambling related?
For sure. No, none of it ever made sense to me, but it makes sense now. I love the way they're doing it. They're going back and forth in time with the timeline, kind of like, the pivotal moments in this season versus the pivotal moments coming up. It's beautiful. I love Jordan just being the ultimate expression of a leader, in the sense of it's my way or the fucking highway. You wonder how certain people get shit done, and looking behind the curtains to Jordan's brain is remarkable to me, because I go, all right, well, like whatever I consider my leadership, if I was a leader style, it would always be sort of, like I think this is how I would have to get things done. With Jordan, it was just like, either you're going to compete with me and I'm going to believe that you are trying your best, or I'm going to make your life a living fucking hell. A living hell. And it worked. And like it's proven that it worked. And when you see it and you go, oh my God, I never would have thought that's the way to motivate people. And it may not be, but that's how he did it. And it's fucking ridiculous to see him just lay it out in front of you. Right? I mean, like, the way they're going back, when you see like Bill Weddington and like Steve Kerr talk about just how much of a prick he was in practice, and how much he just fucking berated them and shit talked them and spoke down to them, and like how it affected them in the time. But like, as you look back, you go, holy shit, it worked. It fucking worked. Totally worked. And to me, he's the baddest motherfucker in the history of the game, and maybe even of sports. Like Muhammad Ali level of shit talking and backing it up, and fuck you, it's either my way or you can go fuck yourself.
100%.
And he's living up to it. Now, for as amazing as he is as dumb as I think Scottie Pippen's coming off. Like, and I love Scottie Pippen, and I thought he would, like, again, underrated. And if I'm picking a 2-on-2 versus anyone, and it's Jordan and Pippen, I'm like, I don't know who's beating them. But just, the contract talk of how he just took the money up front, and then the whole sitting out, and then the whole, it was like, and then doubling down and saying he would do it again.
Scotty.
Yeah. But I love it,
man.
I love it. I love how fat everyone's gotten.
Yeah.
I love how, like, just certain people don't want to be, like, you're hearing certain people don't want to be a part, like, they're not watching it. Like, Patrick Ewing is like, fuck this. I'm not watching this. I'm not reliving this hell again and again.
I heard that too, but I bet he secretly is watching it.
Of course. He's watching the parts that are about him, for sure.
Yeah. Sidebar, has anyone talked about why Jordan's eyes are so bloodshot?
Oh, Tracy was wondering the same thing too. I thought it was I think that might be cirrhosis, like, where your liver starts to kind of break down a little bit. You get a little yellow in the eye. Because he always had a glass of something in there. I don't think he's an alcoholic, but he probably hits the sauce.
Because it's like distracting. That's the only. You couldn't hire somebody to just color his eyes out.
Yeah, or just like pull the Dennis Rodman and let him wear sunglasses.
Yeah.
By the way, Dennis Rodman thought he was going there for like 10 minutes, and his only requirement was a sandwich, a Subway sandwich.
To do the interview?
Yeah, he didn't know. He really didn't know why he was going in there, and he thought he was going to be there. He's like, so you guys had me for about 10 minutes, and they were like, Dennis, we've got, legal pads full of questions to ask you. He's like, well, you better get it done in this 10 minutes. And he sat. He sat for about an hour and a half, but then he left, and that was it. Yeah, but he thought he was going to be there for 10 minutes, and his requirements was a Subway sandwich.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading today why Luke Longley isn't doing it. Apparently, he's very private, lives in Australia.
Yep.
Doesn't want to talk about Jordan.
Yep. Doesn't want to shit talk because he probably just, he feels like there's going to be a wrath or something. I love, like, Craig Hodges getting pissed because he was like, Michael Jordan blew their cover about the strippers and the fucking coke and stuff. But it's like, yeah, we all knew you were doing that. But yeah, no, I truly love it. I don't know. I can't. I'm psyched. We get to see the last 2 parts, but I'm like, what am I going to watch next? I'll probably just watch it over and over again.
Yeah, it's one of those I'll probably watch the rest of my life. It is a 10-part. Just think that's a whole day.
Yeah.
The next quarantine, you could spend an entire day just watching that series, and
it's awesome. It really is. Yeah, but everything else, I don't know what else I'm watching. That's it now.
As a White Sox fan, man, last episode was hard too.
Oh yeah.
I remember him playing for the team too. That was
I didn't know Terry Francona was the. I forgot that he was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
That he was the manager over there. Yeah, I know. Great manager too. But yeah, look, Jordan. I didn't realize. Going back looking at this, I watched the Jordan rides the bus, but they never really talked about his stats that much. But he hit 200.
Yeah,
he hit over 200. And he got better. The second round, he got better.
But then now all there is talk is would Jordan's Bulls have beaten the Rockets either one of those years? The Rockets went back to back 2 years that Jordan was gone. And it's a fun game to play, but I would never. All you need to know is that Hakeem Olajuwon was picked number 1, and Michael Jordan was picked number 2.
3.
Or 3, yeah. So it's like, do you think that he needs any more motivation than this team thought that this guy was better than I was? He creates motivation for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the craziest part of that last episode where.
Yeah, who was that guy? That poor player that he said good game, Mike, and he didn't even say it.
Yeah,
and he just had to destroy him the next game. Destroy him.
And then the George Karl thing.
Yeah. Yep. I love it. I love how he's like, yeah, no, this is what happened. I thought to myself, there's no way that Gary Payton can guard me. You're going to call him the glove? And then when they show him watching the footage of Gary saying, I could get in his grill and this and that, and just him laughing.
I thought Gary deserves more respect than that, though. He was one of the best defenders ever.
Yes, absolutely. And he did probably get in Jordan's face enough to disrupt him that one game. But then to say, number one, to believe that you can shut a man down. Because there are guys that can shut players down in the NBA, but Jordan was not one that could ever get shut down. You may shut him down for a moment, a half, even a game, but all you're going to do is make it worse for when he does it, when you can't, and he's going to destroy you. And watching him go back and look and to even laugh now at Gary Payton, because Jordan could be affable now. He could be like, you know what, Gary Payton was a great defender, and he did. But even now, Jordan just being like, no, fuck you. No one could guard me. Not this guy. Not you. No one. Nobody.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
it.
I fucking love it, because I know that's how shit gets done in real life.
And you also see ESPN is they're really leaning into the Sunday night documentary thing.
Yeah.
Like
They
they
doing
have a
couple of these
whole
now, right?
yeah, they have a whole schedule lined up, and they're bumping up like all these documentaries were supposed to be released a few months from now. They bumped up the schedule on all of them. They're going to do, like a Sunday night HBO kind of thing. They got Bruce Lee coming up. I mean, they all look freaking fascinating.
Yeah.
The 98 home run chase.
And it's like number one, they need content right now, and they know what are we waiting for? Why we got to get this stuff out. And number two, it's like everything lives on the app, and they're all building their own little islands, and they need as much content on that. Like you look at Disney, Hulu, and ESPN as like a one entity. That's what they are really. They need all across the board on all those apps. They need new stuff. I mean, Hulu kind of has its own sort of, but like Hamilton now was supposed to be released in theaters, and now they're going to release it on July 3rd on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of a theatrical release, just because they need stuff there for people to come and watch. So, like, I love it. If you can't catch it on Sunday, you watch it on the app later on. But the more, the better. Right now, we need it. All right, that's it for me, guys.
Yeah, it's an hour.
You guys have anything else? Good, perfect. Again, thank you to everyone who has written me via Facebook and Instagram and all the social media and emails and stuff. Thank you guys for all your support over the last couple of weeks. It meant a lot. It means a lot. And I appreciate it very much, as does my family. This has been the podcast for this week. We'll be back next week. We got some other stuff we got to figure out amongst ourselves. But again, if it's Wednesday, we will try to be here for you in this coronavirus madness. I hope you're all drinking your Clorox and your bleach, taking your Tide Pods every day as recommended. And that's it. All right, guys, be good.